Today, the XRP rally cools after being 10 cents shy of $3 earlier this morning. And Kristin Smith of the Blockchain Association shares her hopes for crypto legislation in 2025. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Brandon Gomez. Crypto markets in the red this morning. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin lost 1% and was trading at $95,100. Ether fell 2% to $3,553, while XRP retreated 8% to $2.52 after being just 10 cents shy from $3 earlier today. All right, jumping right into our main story, Crypto World's Con Oz spoke with Kristin Smith, CEO of the Blockchain Association. They discussed a letter she signed on behalf of the advocacy group listing crypto-related priorities for President-elect Trump and the incoming Congress. She also shared some examples of crypto legislation she would like to see progress in 2025.
All right, Kristin, thank you for joining. I don't think we've had you on since before the election, and now we're about a month past, and recently the Blockchain Association sent a letter to President-elect Trump and the incoming Congress that goes over some crypto-related priorities that you hope to see in the first 100 days. A part of that was calling for new leadership at the IRS and Treasury. I believe it was the same day the letter was submitted that Trump actually announced Scott Bessent as his pick for Treasury Secretary. And then following that pick, I saw headlines calling him crypto-friendly or pro-crypto. I'm just wondering, does Bessent's nomination satisfy that demand? And what are you hoping to see out of the new leadership there?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on, Con. I think we're really excited about the outcome of the election because we will have the most pro-crypto White House and pro-crypto Congress that we've ever seen. So I think the industry has turned a corner. But yes, now we need to get forward with the work of actually working through and establishing what the public policy regulatory framework is going to be, and having the right personnel in the right seats at the agencies is critically important to that. I think we're really excited about Scott Bessent. He has been very much vocal and aligned with the president-elect's outlook that he wants the U.S. to be the crypto capital of the world. And so we think that that's a really good start. And now we're going to be looking to see who he appoints to positions like Deputy Treasury Secretary or Undersecretary for TFI, some of the positions that are really going to be hands-on in figuring out crypto policy on behalf of the Trump administration.
And I also want to ask about the SEC with Chair Gary Gensler stepping down. Specifically, your thoughts on the future of that agency. What do you hope to see from the next leadership in regards to crypto? And I'm wondering, too, where do you think a lot of these ongoing lawsuits between the agency and crypto firms will end up?
Yeah, well, the SEC has been our biggest problem as an industry. We've really felt boxed in a corner and haven't been able to have real discussions about how we can find the right regulatory environment for crypto. And instead, we've seen this regulation by enforcement approach that has been incredibly destructive and has pushed a lot of the innovation offshore. And so what we're hopeful is that whoever comes in to the SEC will put a stay on any new litigation and find a way to resolve, either outright dismiss or settle the ongoing litigation across the industry. There have been over 100 enforcement actions towards crypto in Gary Gensler's term. And so we need to get that cleaned up and out of the way. But moreover, I think there are a lot of things that the SEC can do today within their existing authority that would provide a framework to make it easier for new projects to go out and raise money and to build here in the United States. And so I think through no action letters and different rulemakings and the exemptive process at the SEC, we'll be able to get a good framework in place. We still need Congress to step in because the crypto markets that are commodities like Bitcoin don't have a regulator today. And so the SEC wouldn't have a role to play there. But we need Congress to work on filling in the gaps in the regulatory framework. But there's a lot the SEC can do in the meantime.
And I'm wondering, is there a name that you're willing to say right now that you hope to see fill that position?
I mean, I think we want somebody in there who has experience with the crypto industry and who sees this as one of the signature initiatives for the SEC in the coming years.
I want to also take a step back for a second because it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day coverage, especially around elections and shakeups in Washington. What I've noticed is that there's a bit of disparity between polls from and funded by the industry versus independent research that shows different levels of interest, even trust in crypto among Americans. So, in your advocacy and in your conversations with lawmakers, what are you seeing in terms of broad adoption?
Well, I do think when we look at the polling on both sides, it is clear that people are upset with the way the current system works, whether that be the financial system or big tech. People feel like it's not working for them. And a lot of people associate crypto currency, the crypto community, the crypto industry as an alternative to the world that's not serving them today. And so I think that is something that it's a very primal thing to want to feel left out and to want to have a system work for you. And so we see that translate into activism across the country. There are advocates with Stand with Crypto. I think it's close to 2 million today that are talking to candidates and talking to the members of Congress. And I think that policymakers realize that this is a technology that's not going away. It's something that people want, and that now is the time to fill the gaps that we have in the regulatory system so that the US can be a leader. So as I said before, I think we've really turned a corner. The government is not out to get crypto, it's here to support it.
And my last question for you, the industry is expecting a friendlier Congress to come in. Of course, making new policy, implementing it takes a lot of time. So what's your outlook for crypto legislation, let's say in 2025?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great year for crypto legislation. We saw a lot of groundwork over the past Congress. Last spring we saw the entire House voted on legislation that aimed to look at some of the market structure problems. I think the Senate did a lot of work behind the scenes over the summer. And so the foundation is there. What we need to do in 2025 is really come together as an industry and work with Congress around something that everyone agrees to and get that across the finish line. I think we need it for market regulation. I think we need it for stable coins. And we probably need to do something that really protects self-custody and the rights of software developers. I think this is supposed to be in the law today, but we've seen a couple times where agencies have tried to challenge this. And so I think there's a real opportunity. I think Congress is excited about it. A few years ago, they didn't fully understand it. Their constituents weren't talking to them about it. That has changed. This is an issue that they're hearing about on the campaign trails and in their town hall meetings. And I think that this is going to be the year that we finally get legislation done.
Okay, that's all for Crypto World today. We're back again tomorrow. We'll see you then.